Noiramore Academy, one of Drakenspire's most prestigious schools with over 500 years of storied history. The current headmaster, Julius Claiborne, is a former general who runs our school with military precision and discipline. Our wonderful planet of Noives is home to a great many talents in resonetic abilities, and Noiramore's teachers are uniquely qualified in instructing such essential subjects. But while we specialise in resonetic talents, our other subjects are not taught any less thoroughly, and every student is encouraged to explore their unique talents in our extracurricular programs. Noiramore Academy guides our students to commit to their studies, keep sound minds, maintain their manners, and most importantly, behave in a manner befitting the reputation of our beloved institution.
Extortion, Miss Hovern. Is that really what you're up to now?
I wouldn't call it extortion, sir. I simply told the cafeteria cook that I would keep the existence of his pet vermin on the down low if he provided me with an extra brownie or two at lunchtime. It was mutual exchange that neither of us had issues with.
Yes, Judith, that's extortion. Of course he had issues with it. Thank goodness I caught you in the act.
Well, why am I the one sitting here in this office when it's the cook who is keeping vermin pets?
I've already talked with Mr. Seabrook, Judith. It's dealt with. And more importantly, none of your business. What concerns me is you. Sneaking around at night, lying to teachers, extorting staff. This is a decidedly concerning trend. Don't you want to be a good example for your sister?
Indeed. It must be hard enough for her to be younger than her classmates.
For the next month, you are not permitted to attend film club. Do you understand, Miss Hovern?
But sir, I won't be able to see any movies outside of that club.
Hence why it's a punishment. Miss Nunatak will check that you aren't seen there.
I'll make sure of it.
Judith, head back to class, please.
Good old Seabrook didn't rat me out, it seems. Brownies weren't the only things I asked him for. Apparently, one of his old classmates from back in the day was really into puzzles. He set up some kind of secret puzzle in the history classroom years ago, and Seabrook never figured it out. Let's see if I can.
During the Onyx War, various battles were fought in the Inked Wastes. Some were relegated to land, others underground in the caverns, and many on the Inked Sea. Our fiefdom, Drakenspire, went head-to-head against the fiefdom of Northburg in a horrid conflict spanning 4 years. It irrevocably changed our fiefdom forever. Miss Cabrera, no drawing in class. Can anyone here tell me why the Onyx War was instigated? Miss Landerhoof?
Yes, ma'am. The Onyx War was started due to Northburg spies sabotaging our resonetic ring production process. Northburg took advantage of this to sell their own rings in order to gain the kingdom's favor.
A good summation, Miss Landerhoof. Can anyone else tell me why it was the Inked Wastes that were chosen as the fateful battleground?
The Inked Wastes is between the two fiefdoms. Plus, it was where we mined our ore for the rings.
Excellent, Mr. Strumps. Now, what is it about the Inked Wastes that make it a particularly terrible place to fight a war? Miss Acre?
Oh, yes, Miss Grimsby. Well, the Inked Waste is a nasty, nasty place, full of horrid creatures that will gobble you up and suck out all of your blood. Oh, and of course you can't forget to mention the Surge, which will suck you down into its deep depths and fill your lungs with tar, its tendrils digging deep into your brain until...
That's quite enough, Miss Acre. Oh, quite enough. Our unit this semester will be all about the Onyx War. Since it is the most recent major conflict in Drakenspire's history, we will be studying it in depth. And speaking of which, you may have heard tell that a new science teacher will be joining us this year to replace Mr. Mason. His name is Mr. Bagshaw, and he actually worked in the Research and Development Division of the Drakenspire Army. I'm sure he will have plenty to share with you that can enhance your education. Anyway, I am now giving you the rest of the period to work on the papers I assigned to you yesterday about the instigation of the war. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Dismissed.
The note Seabrook gave me says history classroom. Page number equals number of cave hounds times number of windows plus number of desks. Guess I'll give the textbook shelf a look. These were all recently published. Seabrook's friend went to school before the war, so I doubt any of these would work. I should ask the book sprites for help. Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. That doesn't sound right. A statue of a cave hound. They don't have eyes, since they live in deep caves, and hunt using echolocation. Additionally, they are very good boys. before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. That doesn't sound right.
Oh, Miss Hovern, is your paper done? You're scampering about as if it were.
Yes, miss. I put it on your desk yesterday.
Oh, yes, of course. Carry on. Unless you have any questions about future assignments.
So, I guess we're in the Onyx War unit now, huh? How long will we be studying it?
Till the end of the semester. It's an incredibly important part of our recent history that affected many aspects of our current-day lives and politics. You have a good head for these topics, so I trust you will do well with it. And, please, do not include any battlefield photos in your presentations again. You know, I haven't the stomach for it.
Aha. Of course, miss. I may not be able to get away with it anymore, but other students will be doing that now. She pays less attention to the actual quality of the presentation, since she's too distracted by her disgust. And after all, she can't very well dock points for accurate visual reporting or historical fact. By the way, miss, I thought I saw you carrying a big net near the stables yesterday. What was that about?
That couldn't have been me, Judith. Why would I have a net?
That's what I was wondering. Hence why I asked you.
Oh, no. Wasn't me.
Is that romance book on your desk part of the curriculum?
No. Just a little something to read during lunch. Completely school appropriate, I assure you. Teachers need a bit of downtime entertainment too, child. No need to be nosy.
Ah, but curiosity is my speciality, miss. Is that not the foundation of learning?
No need to be disingenuous, which, coincidentally, is also a speciality of yours. You and I both know you're smart enough to tell the difference between nosy and curious.
You flatter me, miss. Northburg's crest. Some students' parents complained about this being hung in the classroom, saying it was disrespectful to the men who fought against Northburg. But Headmaster Claiborne, who was one of those very men, told them it was fine for educational purposes. He's an old stick in the mud, but at least he can stand up to the PTA parents. The crest of the Noiramore family. They died off with the passing of Headmaster Noiramore 20 years ago. They say she was going insane before her death, that she thought the Onyx War would be the end of the world. She was deposed as headmaster before her mysterious passing. Wonderfully spooky stuff.
Nightclaw Judith, I need your help.
With what?
Well, my wings are that of a warrior. They are strong and my claws are sharp. All good traits of a warrior bat. However, well, sometimes I can wield them a little clumsily. And, I ripped a small hole when I was swooping past this dress.
Oh, Gina, this dress is 500 years old.
I know. If Grimsby sees, I might get kicked out of the school. But I've built my roost here. I can't get kicked out. As a fellow member of the Nightclaw clan, I am formally asking for your assistance, Judith.
It looks like the dress uses a particular stitch here. I don't know how to copy it well enough to pass Grimsby's inspection.
Squeak, squeak, squeak! Oh, I'm sorry. That was a curse word in battle language. I need to watch my tongue.
I'll try to find someone who could help. This sounds like something Becky would know.
Thanks, Nightclaw Judith. You are a valuable member of the clan.
Lady Judith! Greetings!
Hello, Sol.
Might I ask if the film club will have the honor of your presence today? We are watching Murder in the Depths, a delightful horror reel that combines Fellmorian and Noivesan directing technique. Additionally, I heard tell that real skeletons were used to depict the bodies of the murder victims. Oh, please refrain from informing any school staff of this fact. I do not wish to get into detention again for my interests.
I'm sorry, I just got into trouble with the headmaster. Can't join in film club for a while.
Oh, really? I'm simply crestfallen to hear such a thing. I do hope you may join us soon. A new batch of my skull-shaped cookies will be awaiting your arrival.
Deathly delicious, as you always say.
Indeed, I do.
You mentioned getting into detention at one point. What was that for?
Have I not told you of that incident? Ah, yes, this was from before we knew one another, I believe. In the library's radio room, I and several other students had met up to share our favorite radio shows. I turned the channel to my personal pick. As it went on, a few of the students seemed to become quite frightened. The librarian came in to check on us, and when he heard what we were listening to, well, he immediately took me to the headmaster's office. Unfortunately, I was banned from turning the channel ever again.
What exactly did you have them listen to?
A series detailing the stories of serial killers. A tad graphic, I must admit, but also rife with educational content.
Lydia Cabrera. She mostly likes paint, but I've seen her make art pieces out of anything she can get her hands on. Both she and I don't get along with the teachers too well, but she has the advantage of being an artist. After all, it's hard to stay too mad at the girl who will draw the school holiday card designs for free. I've known her since last year.
Judith, hey, have you finished the paper yet?
Naturally.
Ha! Well, I'm just a tad worried about getting it done on time. Especially because I'm just not getting it. Mrs. Grimsby's teaching style is, well...
Atrocious.
I was going to choose a kinder word, like peculiar?
That's the meanest thing I've ever heard coming out of your mouth.
Well, it's hard for her to teach about a war when she gets queasy over just mentioning death or blood. She's definitely skipping out on some important stuff. Can you summarise the cause of the war a bit more clearly for me?
All right. Don't tell me I never did anything for you. The fiefdoms of Northburg and Drakenspire have been at odds for hundreds of years, ever since they were first established by
Huh. I think I'm getting it a bit more now. Thanks, Judith.
No problem.
You mentioned resonetic weapons affecting the land. Did those help or hurt the Surge? Oh, and what happened to Lord Neirath after the war?
This whole unit is going to be about the war. You'll learn that stuff soon enough. And if you don't get it, I'll drill it into your skull, knucklehead.
Ha ha. Thanks. Judith?
A very old tapestry depicting a lord and his hunting party. It must have been some kind of status symbol, since they're hunting a Rathslodon. Those things can rend your flesh asunder before you even have the chance to soil your royal trousers. Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. That doesn't... Becky. Nicholas.
What do you want?
Nothing. Can't a friend just greet a friend without coming across as needy?
Huh, friend. Right. Leave us alone.
Nicholas, I need to talk to Becky.
Why should she help you with anything?
I don't need help. This is Virginia, not me. She accidentally tore a hole in the dress over there, and I'm gonna stitch it for her. But I don't know how to do those fancy old ones. Again, this isn't me, it's Virginia. You know she's too shy to ask people outside her clan.
Yeah, that's true. Becky?
For Gina. Here. I studied that dress a while ago. What seam was torn?
Look like the part with the lace at the bottom.
Easy enough fix as long as the lace wasn't too frayed. Use the stitch in this book on page 27. Give Gina my regards.
Nightclaw Judith, how might I assist?
Gina, look what I've got.
Nightclaw Judith, what is it?
I've got a guide on how to make that stitch to repair the dress, and a needle and thread.
By the great bat's wings! Thank you. Can you help me repair it? I'm afraid my claws would only tear it more.
Sure. Watch this. There you go, all repaired. Grimsby shouldn't know the difference.
Thank you once again for your help, Nightclaw Judith. May the great bat, leader of our clan, bless you this day, and may your catch of earnings always be juicy. Here, take a lunch coin.
Thanks, Gina. A diorama of a typical crystal farm from 500 years ago. It's considered good, honest work. But if being honest means no money and a lack of indoor plumbing, I think I'll keep my tongue white with at least a few lies. Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. Bingo. Hello, little guy. I need to find a pre-war history textbook. Maybe from around the 2190s? Thanks. Without further ado... Huh. Interesting. A battle that took place way before the Onyx War, but it still involved Drakenspire and Northburg. This has got to be related to the textbook, but this scene shows a different battle. Though looking closer at the paint, it seems like this table has been used for years and was painted over whenever a new scene was needed. Platoon... company? Ugh. I don't know how many soldiers those are. Maybe I'll have to ask someone for help.
Hey Jay, what's the damage?
Banned from film club for a while.
Bummer. We just got a copy of Murder in the Depths too.
You did?
Yep. Hopefully they won't return it to town before you see it.
Almost makes me regret being such a delinquent. What are you doing?
Carving chalk. Wanna help me?
Why would I do that?
I want to make a whole set of carved chalk to give to David below me on the lake ball team. I think he'd, think it's neat or something.
Lydia, David is like 4 years older than you.
Which won't be a problem when he's a famous lake ball star in his mid-20s. Might as well make sure he knows my name before he gets famous and all. So, are you gonna help me or not? I'd do it myself, but he's leaving for a game in a few hours, and I want to give it to him before then.
I don't really want to get my gloves dirty. Can you give me a lunch token in exchange?
Ugh, sure. Come on.
Fine.
Great, here's the knife. Just try to match the 3 I've already made, okay? Chip off the sides. eyes look fine.
Fine?
Yeah, here's a lunch token for your time. Treat yourself.
Thanks. Good old number 2. Has Mr. Cabrera caught you yet?
For what?
Turning your library book into a shadow box of that sports star guy?
His protective cousin instincts will outweigh his librarian need to send me to detention.
Somehow I doubt that.
Have you been caught for taking one of the automaton's personality cores?
Its voice was really annoying, okay? Have you finished your paper?
No, I'm a visual artist. Words bore me.
Do you want some help or something?
It'll all go over my horns anyway. Don't bother. I'll listen to a recording or something about the war later.
An old plate depicting Queen Clarentia. I don't know why any royal would want food smeared all over an image of their face, though. Oh, come on, Judith. They're obviously decorative. Think. Do you know how many soldiers are in a platoon? Or a company?
I'm afraid that's not the kind of thing I know off the top of my head. I can look that up tonight and tell you tomorrow.
Nah, don't bother.
All right then. Go back to work, please.
A model of one of the submarines used in the war. They were gradually phased out after the monsters in the Inked Sea were mutated by psi bombs and destroyed subs on sight.
Leave us alone.
Nicholas, I need to ask you something about the military.
Huh. Becky, did you hear something? You know, I am feeling pretty darn hungry today. Maybe, just maybe, if I had an extra lunch token, my ears would clear up.
Here's a lunch token. Now spill your guts, war geek.
Bribing me, I see. Fine. What's your question?
I need to know how many soldiers are in a patrol, a platoon, and a company.
Basic question. Hardly worth a lunch token. But I'll take it anyway. In Drakenspire, the average is 20 men per patrol, 40 men per platoon, and 140 per company.
Guess the reenactment club can teach useful things sometimes.
Rich. Real rich. Buzz off.
There we go. What do we have here? I'll have to get up there to investigate. But Grinsby will object if she sees me. Maybe I can get someone to distract her. Lydia, I need to do something that I don't think Grinsby will like. Can you distract her for me?
Sure, I guess. Have fun.
Lady Noiramore, the woman who founded the school. Her family remained the headmasters for 500 years until the Onyx War. As a whole, where her pupil is... cracked it. What's this? So I need to put these gems somewhere. Fashion about 500 years out of date. Who thought those pants were a good idea? A very old tapestry depicting a lord and his hunting party. It must have been some kind of status symbol, since they're hunting a Rathslodon. Those things can rend your flesh asunder before you even have the chance to soil your royal trousers. A statue of a cave hound. They don't have eyes, since they live in deep caves, and hunt using echolocation. Additionally, they are very good boys. A statue of a cave hound. They don't have eyes. Additionally, just like the tapestry. Seabrook will probably want to see this. A bit pathetic he wasn't able to solve this puzzle, really. High King above. Now this is interesting. Considering how old this parchment looks, there could be something incredible behind this door. I've got to find it as soon as I can.
Calling all students to the entry hall, all students to the entry hall. A new teacher is arriving to the school. Please line up in formation flanking the entry doors, and let us give him a warm Noiramore welcome.
Ah, and here he is. Come now, children, follow me. 2 straight lines.